Yo, all right. So I was on Mr. J's verse. Sorry for the interruption. I had to make another video because I wasn't gonna redo this again. That was the first part was already 20 minutes. I wasn't gonna go back to doing that. So here we go. Second half. YDK's verse. Uh, yeah, I indicated the verse of the line with Mr. J. Mr. J, awesome verse. Excuse me. All right, here we go. YDK, you don't know. His topic is kill you. Now, when you read this verse, when you hear, if you have read this verse, it's a clever fucking. You wouldn't think, that he used kill you and then the subject matter of what he wrote. Now, here we go. We're in for some feels with this one. This is YDK wears his heart on his sleeve, definitely. So here we go. I had to write this shit down or I would never said it out loud. Because I've always wanted to be a daddy and said I was proud. But there were times before you that I wasn't so sure of it. Times I considered dying, had depression, and didn't get cured of it. I was cutting my wrist back before people even heard of it. They thought it absurd. I hated life when I've only been hurt from it. I've been told I was weak, too sensitive, but wouldn't speak. So I'd go weeks without crying, till I just did it in my sleep. So I'd go weak. So the pity people showed me did nothing but make me feel like a child. Because I didn't want them to feel sorry for me, I just wanted to smile. I thought that a son or a daughter would give my life meaning, not realizing that I should never have needed a reason. I was terrified when I found out that your mother was pregnant, because I was partying every night while my dreams became stagnant. I wasn't ready for a baby. Shit, we weren't even dating. I just knew that if she kept you, my goals would stay waiting. It's selfish. And I knew it, but I just couldn't admit it. I nearly let her keep drinking, hoping we could forget it. But that ain't what I do. I poured every drop down the drain, let her cuss me out for hours and took some shots to the brain. She held it against me then and probably still does, because we weren't together, but we were happy. Maybe a baby had killed us. By the time I heard your heartbeat, I just knew it was real. I was numb. I was crying, but I didn't know what to feel. Should I be happy or nervous? The shit made me panic. So I snorted as many pills as I could find, turning back to an addict. A month or so passed when I got to see you in the computer. They said I was having a daughter, and I just wanted to view her. Maybe it was the pills, maybe it was reality, but those tears came down faster as if they had never come out of me. I was fucking relieved. I was ecstatic to see you. Through an ultrasound picture, I just wanted to meet you. I cleaned up my act working overtime daily. I had a new goal in life and wasn't letting shit fail me. Don't get it twisted, we were barely getting by. But my money went to bills instead of me getting high. I used the only $200 my mom left me when she died, so I could get an apartment so that we could survive. We moved in with nothing but the clothes on our backs, took handouts from strangers, and slept on the floor to relax. After months of slowly building, we were ready for you. On September 7th, you finally came into view. I held you in my arms as my grandmother embraced me. Crying and shaking, I was happy because this baby had changed me. I felt guilty ever since the day you were born, kid, because I love you with my soul, but you were nearly aborted. Man, that's some true life shit right there. If you can't appreciate that, then I don't know what you want me to tell you. What more? How much more original does the subject have to be? I mean, I have two daughters. I know a couple of you had kids, but each person's experience with their kids is different. I would have never. YDK to relate to you. When I first had my first kid, when she told me she was pregnant, dude, she's like, yeah, I'm pregnant. I'm like, what? Are you serious? I'm 25. What? You're pregnant? So I've had all those thoughts. Leaving. Aborted. We ain't ready for this shit. Fuck that. But life's funny because, if you're not really that If you're not really that before you had a kid, you're not going to be that after when somebody tells you you have a kid. So if you're a good person before you have a kid, you're going to be a good person after. You know? If you're a person that does what they're supposed to do as far as responsibility, as far as taking care of the things that you need to take care of, the kid doesn't change that. You know? So, shouts to you, YDK, man. Great twist on the fucking topic. I mean, damn. That's some serious shit right there. Enjoyed it thoroughly. Line of the verse. Because we weren't together, but we were happy. Maybe a baby had killed us. Like a lot of people go through that. They're happy, they're good. Oh man, you know, we're perfect for each other and this and that, and we love each other. And I'm pregnant. What? I don't think I like you very much anymore. I think I should leave. Happens a lot. You know, so that line not only resonates with everybody, I guess, but just in general. I mean, having a baby is a big fucking deal, man. You know, so for you to pour out your heart and say, you know, hey, man, I had these thoughts, and, you know, I almost went back to fucking becoming an addict, to, you know, I did what I had to do and work overtime and work fucking extra shifts and do all these things to prepare myself for this kid. It's props, man. Props. Nothing but props, YDK. Love this verse, man. Enjoyed it thoroughly. Thoroughly. Fortunately for Mr. J, I'm gonna have to give this to YDK just solely based on, you know, I would say originality. I mean, you know, YDK just showed a full range of emotions, a full spectrum, an entire story from beginning to end. I mean, to middle to end, to we're happy, we're this, we're that. I thought a kid would change me, to, oh shit, I'm pregnant. Oh shit, what the fuck are we gonna do? To, I love this kid so much I wouldn't trade it for the world, even though I had thoughts of doing that. So it's a whole journey, you know. So take away that it's about YDK personally, and let's say that he put a character there as the main folk, not himself, you know. If it was somebody else's daughter, I wrote that would be me even more creative. You're like, damn, dude, you made up all these emotions and all this imagery just based off of something you've never been through. Incredible writing. So either way you look at it, YDK did an outstanding job. Very good. Enjoyed it. Like I said, my vote goes to YDK, and all the other voters decided the same. But every single person gave Mr. J props. Mr. J, thank you for showing, man. That was much improvement from last week. You know, it actually showed you, you know, you took down the time to write. Or maybe you didn't. Maybe it took you 5 minutes. But either way, props, Mr. J. Props, YDK. Good battle, but I think YDK took it this week. And that is the second battle. And now, we go down to the one what everybody's been waiting for. This was the battle of two fucking heavyweights, and it did not disappoint. We got Diablo, a.k.a. Lars, a.k.a. Bear in Mind, a.k.a. Srawls, a.k.a. MLP. Diablo versus Pentup. I only know him as Pentup. But here we go, man. Fucking incredible writing, man. Can I just say, when fucking heavyweights show up, man, it's always awesome. Because they're never going to disappoint. And, this was no exception. Here we go. Pentup. His topic, his title, I Can't Win. And it's a picture of, it looks like a kid or a young adult, and he's looking off into the distance or a tree. It's a very colorful picture. There's a bunch of colors everywhere. The tree's colorful, the floor is colored, the sky is blue and orange and all kinds of colors, you know what I mean? And this kid is looking off into the distance where the tree is at, where the sun is setting, and he sees a bunch of people standing there. It looks like it's might be his family, and it's off the picture. You can kind of tell that maybe he's off on a journey, somewhere, maybe to be a man, maybe to go hunt for food for the family, or something like that, or maybe he's been searching for them for a long time, and now he finally found them. He's like, oh my God, there they are, and he's awed at the moment of finding his family. So let's take this journey together. And here we go. Pentop. The hardest part of walking uphill, moving like the wind. The hardest part of walking down, losing sight of them. Knew it wise to spend futile time to unwind content, but still felt torn like aliens grew inside my skin. Who am I to them? Who am I to me? Behooving lightning, and soothing rivalry, moving like the trees, swaying in the ambience, while pieces fall without fading in the grass and twigs. Everlasting grasp of facts, scaling down to happiness in a realm where it felt playing favorites has to fit. Older now, sober now, and middle of the pack. Hindered by my past or a figment of the facts, sticking to the back while my constituents relax. I play my part and frivolously laugh. No disdain, though refrain from an alpha position. Insecurities won't lend to my gravitas mission. As it was written, too young to take care of my parents, but too damn old for all of the fables and presents. Gatherings are nice because families unite. Autumn-esque backdrops reflect magic afterlife moments, golden to those with better halves who vanished like death. Death stands there red-handed laughing, yet contrite. It has to happen, right? The passing of the torch. Passively, we're forced to act as the resource of happiness until ourselves are famished by divorce or a tragedy of sorts and can no longer lend our masculine support. Cash is the retort, to gain or to spend. A shame in the trend is what heinously lends to the dividing factor of what makes us content. The gifter, the giftee, the buyer, the unnamed in events. It doesn't start from the green or start monetary. The autumn leaf doesn't fall far from the tree. Triumphant bloodlines remained red at the top. The golden years fell to their spot, expelled and then washed. Throughout the years, mud muddles and melt all the lost to remain the survivors were not fresh from the start. Some won't compost. Some stretch what they've got, but when we pull together, it resembles a plot. Just incredible wording, language. I mean, basically what he's saying is, he's on a mission to, I guess save his family from whatever it is that they're going through. It's now his mission, it's his obligation, it's his, I guess, right to take over and provide for his family. Here's a line that I thought was interesting. He goes when he's talking about sticking to the back while my constituents relax. I play my part and frivolously laugh. No disdain, though refrain from an alpha position. Meaning he gets it. He's like, these I can't relax. I'm not allowed to relax. I'm not allowed to take it easy and laugh, or not laugh, but take it easy. It's my responsibility to always keep a level head of everything and to not take what other people are doing as, you guys aren't helping either. What the fuck? Because that's not productive to the whole. That's not what a good leader does. Doesn't put blame on anyone else. He doesn't, look for anyone else to set the example. He sets the example himself and blames himself. That's just the way it is. That's what comes with being a leader. And if you can't accept those terms, you can't come to term with those terms, and then you're not a leader. And he ends it very, very nicely where he says, those last two, some stretch what they've got, or some won't compost. Some stretch what they got, meaning, that some just aren't gonna be willing to give up that seat of power. They don't want to give it to the next one up. You know what I mean? But he says, well, that's fine and dandy, but we need to do that, because if we all come together as a collective and no one has their own agenda and their only agenda is for the group, then it's a better. We grow, we make something together. A plot. I mean, just a basic idea written with beautiful language. Just beautiful language, turn of phrasing. I mean, just incredible, man. Line of the verse. I think it's the last couple of lines. I thought that was very, very nice. It encompassed everything about the verse and also ended it in a beautiful way. Some want compose, some stretch what they've got, but when we pull together, it resembles a plot. Just so much imagery there. And the picture that it paints. And on top of that, it's the last couple of lines, so it's got to be impactful, and it encompassed everything about the verse, and then ended the verse very nicely. So I enjoyed this completely. The title, now I'm thinking about it, the title fits perfectly with what this kid or this guy is going through. He just can't win, He can't win. Whatever he does, it's not for him, it's for the group. So there it is. So we got Pent Up. Beautiful verse, Pent. Enjoyed this, man. Great stuff. All right. Excuse me. The World Built in 7 Days by Mr. Lars, a.k.a. Diablo. All right, here we go. Let's build us an ant farm, I called with delight, as we pillaged the backyard for all we could find. Sourcing the right materials for the housing required, we ensured that its dimensions were down to a science. We accounted for sizing before the panels were made, having found a supply of tempered glass for the case. They had to be laid so each joint was adjacent and tactfully placed to avoid any breakage. I poised the encasement near the gleam of a candle and pointed it facing a southeasterly angle. Here they had ample warmth and light on display, and I could peer from the shadows any time of the day. With the design taking shape, its outer structure was glued. We wiped at the fascia so all particles of dust were removed. We trusted its durability and filled the bottom with sand before we put it in the roof to secure our colony's ants. Once we've gone and attached this over their home, we fitted the top with a hatch we could open and close. This gave us total control over their food supply. We poked in a hole big enough to fit a tube inside. We used this pipe both to get air in for breathing and to provide the moisture our formicarium needed. We took care to complete it over the span of a week before sharing our Eden with our Adam and Eve. Its inhabitants seemed to thrive as they used their leg strength for channeling secret chambers to store food and nest eggs. Soon, an extensive network of tunnels arrived as the community went and doubled in size. The numbers were rising in time as it grew. To the hub was a hive of activity with socialite rule. The ants inside it assumed their individual roles, and I smiled as I knew they'd continue to grow. The kingdom evolved, coming full circle to see. Hatchlings become soldiers, workers, or queens. One ant turned to his teammate, rose its pincers, and asked, "We've the world at our feet, but where do you think it began?" The civilian clacked his mandibles and breathed with a sigh. "Some think it was planned by a great entity in the sky." Seeming surprised, his young antenna sprang into action. Even the wisest ants believe it was a big bang that just happened. What the fuck was that? Sorry, got an interruption from my phone. Even the wisest ants believe it was a big bang that just happened. The elder gawked up. His laughter came up from his throat. "And you imagine all of this was made on its own?" The young laborer drone began to feel like an idiot. By surveying their home, it sounded completely ridiculous. He'd seen the meticulous hours of physical skills, even been in the trick of, even been in the thick of it to assist in the build. So did their habitation result from a Big Bang defying logic, or was their existence a children's ongoing science project? All right, and Lars's picture is of the Earth. It's just a picture of the Earth. So here we go. Time to break this down. All right, so the first half, you explaining, how you guys are building this thing, was just damn near perfect. I mean, you didn't skip a beat there at all. Very nicely, very nicely, very nicely. I enjoyed the switch. You went from being at the perspective of the builders to being in the perspective of the ants, which I think you should have probably maybe spent a little more time in that perspective, because you go from the transition from the builders to the ants that was cool. I didn't have a problem with that, but I think it was like the end of going from the perspective of ants to going back, I guess, to the writer and posing the question to us, that you did in the end, which those events I thought were cool, but maybe you could have polished them a little bit more. That last part, not everything, just that last little bit. You could have added, I think, a couple more lines to emphasize a little bit more about what's going on with the ants. But what you did was dope. I mean, the whole thing about humans being ants and the Earth being an ant farm is just, you could see the comparison. You know what I mean? We live in a big ass fucking thing, and all we do is just scatter around all day doing what we got to do to survive. And ants do that too. But I don't think that was really what you were aiming at, or were you? No, wait, I'm losing track of what I'm trying to say. All right, so let me just say that I enjoyed the little twists that you had in this. It was well written. And I like the back and forth with the ants. I thought that was clever, because it gave it a little context, as to what you were trying to say as far as the plight of the ants. So I thought that was dope. I thought the whole idea was just very clever, very well written. I mean, I would have never got that from that picture, although after reading what you wrote, it's almost obvious, almost like come on, how did you not think about that? That's very easy to, so props on that. I like how in this last little piece right here where, you wrote about the ants, not the one ant being certain of what, his world was, and then coming to find out that it's not what he thinks it is, and then he's questioning his own beliefs and his own things, and then you go ahead and you pose that to the reader. You take it further and you give it to the reader. So, hey, what do you think it is? You know what I mean? Was it that, or was it this? You decide. So I thought that was cool. I thought that was really a nice little trick you did there, to engross the reader and, make him invest a little more, which I did, when I saw it. I was like, that was very clever. I don't know if you want me to answer it, but from what I see that you wrote, I mean, it seems like it's a kid's science project, which again, you could say God is a big kid and we're his science project. Again, just clever fucking writing, man. Just based off of that, I think that idea, what you did with that, I got to give you the vote. I'm gonna give my vote to Diablo. I thought his shit was just dope writing. Just creative, original writing with cliche subjects, I guess you could say. but fresh writing. Nothing was cliche. Nothing was, you know, you're like, oh, I've seen that before. It was fresh, original, well written. Thank you very much. Line of the verse. Line of the verse. All right. I liked. We took care to complete it over the span of a week before sharing our Eden with our Adam and Eve. Again, you know, giving that whole, you know, God and, you know, us and, you know, just incredible writing. Enjoyed it very much. And so there you go. My vote goes to Diablo, you know. But the voters this week decided that Pent Up was the winner, which I don't blame them. You know, Pent Up had concise and at the same time whimsical, abstract wording that kind of like just brung it all together. It seemed like he was talking about something else, and then when you finally got it, you're like, oh, okay, wow, okay, that's an interesting way to say that. So, you know, I can see why people voted for Pent Up. You know, I would have voted for Pent Up this week, but I thought Diablo's, you know, creativity outshined him because, you know, if we're sitting here, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to say that, oh, well, Diablo was a little more technical than Pent Up when these guys don't need that kind of advice. These guys have been doing this shit for years, so that's out the window. When two heavyweights go up against each other, I look from who's gonna be the more creative person. You know, who's gonna wow me with story and, you know, imagery and originality rather than technicality and okay, you can rhyme, you know. But we've established that. That's why you guys are the heavyweights. Now I want you to, you know, impress me with your beautiful wording and writing. And Diablo did that for me this week. So I'm voting for Diablo. All right, fellas. Sorry I had to split the magazine into two. Got interrupted. So, you know, I had to make another video. So here we go. The week is done. Oh, week, what, 3? Week 3. No, we're in week 3. Week 4. Week 4. Or week 3, sorry. Week 3. This is week 3. That was week 2 that I reviewed. My bad. Week 3. Matches. We got Diablo, who lost his first battle this week. He's 2-1. So, you know what I mean? Versus NYC Spitz. This guy is prolific. Prolific with his writing. This guy will drop fucking 50 without a doubt and without a notice and just, there you go, bro. You know? So, this is potentially another dope matchup. Hopefully both show. I know Diablo's going to show. So, NYC Spitz, you better show, homie. Bring your A game. Next battle we got Symmetric, who I'm really liking this dude. I like what he's writing. I like his flow. Both weeks he's impressed. Versus Pent Up. I got Diablo with the NYC versus NYC. Symmetric versus Pent Up. If Symmetric could take this, because then Pent Up might not show. He's very, you know, he has a history of no showing. So, but either way, if Pent does show and he does give an effort, I think Pent is going to take it. But Symmetric has a good chance. Pent might take, you know, might not take him too serious, and he might just write a half-ass verse just to not to no show, you know. And Symmetric might just drop something that's going to be outstanding. So, I don't know, but I'm going to give this one to Pent Up for now. And the next battle, we got Mr. J, the Joker himself, versus Objective, the boy Objective. This is a good battle. I think these guys battled in week 1. I'm not sure, but either way, or they ended up getting mashed together. But now, you know, Mr. J can actually write to objective rather than just post a no show verse. So they're both gonna come with it. They're both similar writers. They're both very creative in their writing and their topic picking and all that. Like they come up with some good shit, some good ideas. But I think just off of sheer, trying, I think I'm gonna give it to objective. I think Mr. J, Mr. J's been dialing it in. Maybe he picks it up, but I got objective. Next battle, it was originally YDK versus myself, but Deadman says he wanted in, so I subbed him in. If anybody else, I got Deadman on this one. I think if YDK writes another, gut-wrenching verse like he did this week, he could take it. But if he writes another verse about his daughter, then maybe people will be like, come on, dude, we've seen that already. Come up with something better. So I got Deadman, but I'm rooting for YDK. Hopefully he keeps this pace going, keeps his heart on his sleeve and just writes, man. Right. So there you go, man. Week 3. Week 3 battles. Thank you for your time. Again, to end it, NABL, week 2 up. Y'all go sign up or get into y'all battles. NetSeas Book Club. Y'all go check that out if y'all like books. And let's keep this shit alive, guys. This is Innovator signing out. Peace.